you are. I hope this life meets you in good faith with an open mind to receive these truths and to widen your scope to break the generational curses that have been passing down and the miseducation of the Negro. There's a book that was written in 1933, or I think it was Carter G. Woodson, called The Miseducation of the Negro. And so many of our people have been miseducated, and they use the Bible to misinform and miseducate black people concerning their true self. What do I mean by that? They miseducate you concerning your invisible self and your invisible union with the source and with everything that you see and you can behold, which is actually a reflection of your consciousness and your awareness. So they sow you false hope through religion. And so in order to trap you in this three-dimensional realm, to worship and serve the white man as a slave, he gives you a fake heaven. So he makes you believe that there's a place called heaven that is on the outside. It puts you into a mindset of a geographical location when you are actually a spirit being operating in an avatar. Your body is just an avatar, a house for you to have this human experience where you must learn to create consciously and deliberately. So in order to break your spirit as a conscious and deliberate creator, the colonizers and plantation owners, they formulate a program to put you in a paradigm. And so, for example, you go to school and every morning they have you reciting the same thing, believing in a man in the sky and believing that someone is going to save you and believe that there's a place you have to go where there will be no dying and there will be no sexual relationship and there will be no racism. And so they create false hope in your mind, believing that there's such a place and that such a place exists. But when you understand your consciousness and your awareness and everything exists in consciousness, you would realize that everything is mental, everything is psychological, everything have to first be a thought, it have to first be an idea, it have to first be imagined. So heaven and hell is an idea that has been built into your subconscious mind. That is why people can go to bed and fall asleep and they can get dream about heaven and they can get dream about hell, because it is a construct that has been placed in your mind through programming. So when you are a little child, it is called your formative years, because just like how you can format a computer, so too you can program a child. So in the book of Mind Science, it states that if you can raise up a child in a certain way, that when they become older, they won't depart from it. And they brainwash our people to believe that that is saying that if you train a child to believe in an outside savior, and you train a child to believe in some heaven on the outside, and you train a child to believe in some sky daddy, that they want to break out of it. And you believe that's the right way to raise your child. And the reason why you would believe that is because every society needs structure. You need a certain way of behavior. You need something to subscribe to. You need identity. So basically, you're going to follow the crowd. So you will do what you see your parents do. You say the things that you hear your parents say. Because when you come into this experience, you are dumb and you are crippled. What do I mean by that? You cannot walk when you're born, and you cannot speak when you're born. And so everything that would influence your behavior is based on a program that you receive from a little child, and that program is being built in more and more and more and more in your subconscious mind by you interacting and familiarizing yourself with whatever pattern. So for example, if you're a black person and you grow up in a society where they're teaching you to believe in a God on the outside, and they're teaching you to believe in some savior 2,000 years ago, you're gonna grow up that dumb. And whenever you hear someone refute your ignorance, you're gonna get angry because you build your identity on such a belief. Okay. And that is what has been damaging our people. And so they brainwash you and tell you that there wouldn't be no sex in heaven. But when you understand that heaven is your consciousness and your awareness, and it's taking place within you, and you came into this experience through sex, then you will realize that this sacred energy exchange, which you call sex, it doesn't just happen on a physical level. It happens also on a psychological level and also on a spiritual level. So for example, you go to the supermarket, you exchange money, okay, which is energy, for whatever is on the supermarket shelf, which is also energy. And it is an exchange. It is sexual in nature, but they never teach you that it is sexual in nature. And so also, a person, they go to church or they join some secret society, and they go there and they mingle the energy with one another. And that also is a form of sex, because it's sacred energy exchange. So you're always exchanging the energy. So how the hell they could turn around and tell you there won't be no sex in heaven? Because they want you to believe that heaven is a geographical place outside of yourself, when it is taking place within your consciousness and your awareness. So when you understand that heaven and hell is different states of your mind, you wouldn't blame and believe that there's a devil. Because you will look in the mirror and you will see the devil, and know the devil is the negative side of your mentality. And you would know that God just represents that positive energy. And you have to balance the positive with the negative. So if you try to be good, you go to church, you read your Bible, you join a religious organization, and you try to be good, you're being dumb. That is, you go into one extreme. And if you go and you join a gang and try to do things that are destructive, that is, you go into another extreme. So basically, if you join a gang and you do criminal things, we have for you what is called a prison. Incarcerate you, and they call you a prisoner. But on the other hand, when you go to a church and you join a religion, you're also a prisoner, but you've been imprisoned in a different way. So basically, if you do not understand to balance your mind and accept yourself to be good and evil at the same time, then you always blame a devil. So that's why you see people going to church and they say, oh, the enemy, the enemy. Who the hell is the enemy? You. No one goes in the mirror at mornings and look in the mirror and see the enemy. No. Yet, when a woman or a man goes most of the time in the mirror, they go to criticize themselves in the mirror. So they look at the hair, they look at the face, they look at all different things, and they always find fault with themselves. Criticizing themselves, not saying, why do you think so much people just bleach their skin? They're not seeing themselves as being beautiful because they were never taught to love and love themselves and believe in themselves and so on. And so religion is a different way to keep in self-doubt and self-hate. So no one is doing hurt or damage to you. It is you who is hurting yourself. So the concept of heaven and hell was created for you to do all the damage to your own self without you knowing it. Because there's only cause and effect. And so, because they do not want you to understand how this whole universe works, and how your mind works, and how your mind is connected with the sun, for without the sun, there's no life, and there's no light. You can't get no fruits and the fruit trees without the sun. The animals can't get nothing to eat without the sun. You can't get rain without the sun. The sun is the giver of all life on this planet. And your mind, without your mind, there isn't anything made that was made. So everything was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. Which means the church you attend and the denomination that you are part of, it was first a thought. It was first an idea. It was first imagined in someone's mind. And they give you their mind for you to believe as an absolute. That's why they create God. Man create the concept of God, hell, and heaven to keep you a certain way. And am I against it? No, I'm not against it. Why am I not against it? Every society needs structure. Okay? So you have to structure every society. So, for example, the Chinese, Buddhism. The Indians, Hinduism. Then you have the Muslims and so on. And all of them have one agenda. Is to structure society a certain way. And it all goes back to the mind. And it goes back also to self-realization. So, for example, in the Christian religion, you have the preacher. In the Muslim religion, you have the imam. In the Buddhist and so on, you have the leaders there too, okay? But all in all, not until you actually been initiated without the instrumentality of anyone outside of yourself or any man. Which means you have to be initiated from the invisible world to be a real true spiritual leader. So basically, the church and all the other religion, they're giving you fake leaders. They're literally fake. And so they use different terms to represent the same thing. So in Christianity, they talk about heaven and hell. And then in the Hindu, they talk about moving from samsara to nirvana and so on. But all of that have to do with a higher state of consciousness and a higher state of awareness. So, for example, when a man and a woman come together to procreate in the act of sex, they actually enjoy in heaven. Yet they tell you there's no sex in heaven. You're actually in heaven. That is why they don't want you to know the sexual power is the most creative power. That's the power that brings us here. That's the same power that brings the motor car. That's the same power that brings the telephone. That's the same power that gave us the internet. All the innovations in the world and all the inventions in the world come from the sexual power. But they don't want you to know that. So they tell about fornication and adultery. And they create a market through a scam that they call marriage, a fake union. When marriage actually takes place in the bed. That's why I say marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled. Because it takes place in the bed through the sexual act, which is sacred energy exchange. Okay? So, when they tell you there's no sex in heaven, it's a lie. Sex is always taking place in heaven. That's why they give you the pornography industry. Who give you the pornography industry? Christianity. Let me explain it to you. The Jews. These fake Jews who gave the world Jesus and turn around and deny Jesus while they hold to the Kabbalah and the Talmud, and they keep black people at the bottom. They started first with the invention of the movie camera. I waited for the wind to calm down a little bit. And that's when they start the pornography industry. And to prove what I am saying, and you could do your own research, the man who's running OnlyFans, you know OnlyFans is pornography industry too, you know, in a different way. That's the modern day way of doing the pornography industry is through OnlyFans, okay? He's a Jew. People don't know these things. Okay? So what happened? The church system weaponized sex. And that's why the pornography industry becomes so profitable. That's why sex sells. That's why when they advertise these energy drinks, which is mashing up your heart, like Red Bull, Rude Boy, and all of these things. And the young men, they're so dumb, not having any father figure, any kind of people to really raise them. Most of them grew up in single parent homes because the women, they're not held responsible for their virgin hole. I live in a nation they call a Christian nation, right? Where the women are not all accountable for their virgin hole. So the court, where they make up all of these man-made foolishness, which they call law, they give the woman right to put the man in court to mind his child. But they never tell the woman she's responsible for she virgin seal. And it's only she could say yes. A man cannot have sex unless a woman say yes. I'm not talking about rape. That's a criminal offense. Okay. I'm talking about consensual sex. Okay. So children cannot come in this world without consensual sex. Okay. I'm not talking about committing any criminal act now. Okay, because there are some people who want to go to the extreme and talk about rape. I'm not talking on that level. Okay, I'm talking about two consensual adults. Okay. Right? Yet, they say we live in a Christian nation. You see the joke? It's a joke. So what they do? They create a system of hoes. While on the other hand, in Islam, you hardly will find single parent family except if the man die. Because they don't go and do these things outside of marriage. Though they do it sometimes in secret. So all religion is to control your mind and to keep society a certain way. And I'm not trying to change it. I'm just trying to educate you about it. So you will understand how to play the game. And you will never say things like, oh, there'll be no dying in heaven and there'll be no sex. No, heaven is right here, right now. And we're dying because death is just asleep. And we are having sex right here in heaven. And when you're having sex, you're in heaven. That's why I could create. Heaven is the most creative place. So they don't want you to know how creative and how powerful you are. And so when you know how to use the energy, you could create anything you want in this world. If you want to have some nice looking children, like my children, you have sex consciously. And you bring them how you want them. Before they ever come here, you set your intention to have certain children. That's why the church will never teach you to have sex with a purpose. They make you bring back a religious idiot calling on Jesus and shouting hallelujah. And that's how they were able to keep black people trapped, being slaves on the planet. Because somebody have to play the part of the slave. Because, for example, catch this. This is your head. This is where the master is. The head controls the body. Let me simplify it for you. If you want to go to the toilet, you cannot command your bottom to leave the rest of your body and go to the toilet. You have to go to the toilet and take off your clothes and so on. Because your body is a slave to your mind. So the game of life, and there's a book named The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Check out that book. Okay? So the game of life is based on master and slave. Learn that. That's why people in secret society just call themselves master. How could you a master and you a slave? But people can't read between the lines. And then in church, they'll have the people calling the pastor a first lady. Because they are taking on the role of royalty over the people. And the church have a pulpit, so the pastor will stand above the people. So he stand up, like how I now go up on this thing, eh? So he stand above the people, casting a spell or enchantment. But the people don't know. And they're coming under the enchantment. Because words are spells, okay? And so, when he cast that spell, he put them in a certain atmosphere. And he could tell them anything. And they would believe. Okay? And so, just recently, before the children write their exam, CPA, they was putting them under spells. They always do that. Every year, they put them under spells and say they're praying for the children and have them singing song. And this is the song they had the children singing. The children were singing a song that says, that Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Any thinking person with common sense would know. If you could have called Jesus on a main line, on a phone line, or through a communication link, and you could have tell him to give you anything you want, everybody would have been a billionaire. Then the children wouldn't have to study the book. They do not have to do no homework. Just play around, play games, play video games, all that. And just call Jesus on the main line. I say, you know, Jesus, I want to come first in the CPA. Yo, my brother and my sisters, black people don't want to hear the dumb, you know. No, they're going to hate you. We're calling them dumb. But they're dumb when they believe in Christianity as secular history. Get me? Because I'm not against the Bible. If you understand it as a book of mind science, then we could talk. And if you could use the mind science to prove that you are magnetic and electrical, and you could use reverse psychology to break what colonialism have done upon you and your parents. So my brother and my sisters, don't let them fool you. Heaven and hell is within you. It's a state of consciousness, a state of awareness. So there's sex in heaven and there's sex in hell. That's why the people who would have sex and bring their children in hell, talking about Jesus and living the rest of their life paying back loans with the bank. That's why all through this country you see billboard talking about recurring loans. You could get up to $25,000 and $30,000 loan. They're telling you get your dream house. Why they calling it a dream house if this life is not a dream? And they're telling you get your dream land, and people can't read between the lines. If this life is not a dream, and you can't dream it into reality, what they tell you go get your dream out in dreamland? And they tell you come borrow. And it's like a pig. You fatten the pig, you feed the pig, and the pig feels joyful, man. You get food for free. Not knowing you're sharpening the knife all the time, you're fattening the pig to slaughter the pig. So they fatten you with loans. So the next 30 years of your life, remember this life is short, you know, bro. This life is short. The next 30 to 25 years of your life, you're paying back loan with interest. And the bank is a mental construct. It was for us a thought. Come on, man. It was for us an idea. It was for us imagine. Money is a mental construct. It means that poverty is a state of mind. And how do you get people to live in a state of mind from generation to generation? Through religion, Jesus. So my brother and my sister, they create heaven and hell to trick you. So my brother and my sister, next time you're having sex, enjoy the pleasures of heaven and create what you want. And remember, as a black person, you will always face racism. So there's always racism in heaven. That's why they give you a white Jesus. And they give you a white God. And they want you to serve a white God. And believe in a white God. And they show you the devil as a black man. Which they're not lying, because if you as a black man wake up, you become their devil. I am their devil. Because I know them and I understand them and I could see through them. I understand colonialism. So when the pastors speaking shit, I know. And when the politicians speaking shit, I know. And when the school teacher teaching you shit in school, I know. So it's their devil. So I'm afraid to call myself a devil. I'm the white man devil. But I know Jesus is my devil. So I don't want Jesus. That's why I say fuck Jesus. That's my devil. I curse Jesus. That's my devil. The white idol, that's my devil. They want to put me in hell. Financial hell. Economic hell. Why do you think all the people in my country take vaccine? When they get the great pandemic, the nasty stinking scamdemic. You know what the people call me stupid and crazy? When I tell them it was a pandemic? That man had a stone in Cloud9 come up in my face. Because I don't want to wash no hand or anything. So the pandemic. If business closed down now, it'll come up in my face, boy. Don't do that. Don't come up in my face. I don't deal with violence. I know who I am. I don't mess with people. My only weapon is my mouth. Don't come up in my face. Don't do that. There's more that is for me than that is against me. You can't see them, but they're here with me. They're here with me. You see, my brother and my sisters, when you get rid of this heaven and hell concept and all the things that the white man passed down from the plantation to your parents, which they pass on through the school system when you're small, and through the church system to keep you stupid. When you get rid of those things, you will get connected to your ancestors and the spirit of your ancestors, and you will get closer to nature. You will understand nature. You will look at nature, and nature will become your greatest teacher. And when you do that, then you start to understand what they call the hospitality industry. You start to understand what your politicians just tell you about tourism instead of agriculture. When agriculture is sowing and reaping, and when you understand sowing and reaping on a psychological level, on a spiritual level, then you understand the physical level, and they make you believe in the physical level alone. They can't show you tourism on a spiritual level if they're not going to show you that anywhere the soul of your feet shall go is yours and show you is that whatever you could imagine in your mind and you could go there in spirit if you know how to do it. They can't stop you. Passport ain't mean shit. If you want to travel to go to another country, close your eyes. The rest is history, I'll show you. Book a one-on-one with me, I'll teach you what to do. And you will go there. You don't have to worry about money. The money will come to you. Don't matter check your passport and all of that. But just play the game. Because that's how society is structured. But this heaven and hell thing is bullshit. A bunch of people going to church because they're afraid. They think it has some fucking devil. When they're afraid to look in the mirror and see the devil. The moment you look in the mirror and see the devil, you will also see God in the mirror. And then you start to appreciate yourself better. And then you will balance. And then you will start to realize, hey, you know that can't be night without day. Then you start to understand. You can have a good woman without a bad woman. So they need balance. Then you start to understand all them men who feel them is the most jealous and they burn out most party boy and they do all of that. You realize how ignorant they be. Because you can't have a straight man without one who's not straight. And you realize the man who's not straight is to show you balance. So when they walk down the road, you don't have to burn no fire on them. Like for example, I used to work at BlackMadGuru Resort, which I walk after that, tell the white people I know indentured servant. I wrote a book on it. You could check it. BlackMadGuru Resort and the Messenger. Right? And in that book I state that after the white man steal all the money, the man David Ames, which he in prison right now in England, but after that, they allow you to get out of the country without any charges. Okay. As after he leave, other slave owners gonna come and they will call them investors. And they will tell the people, I will give you all a little bit more money. And that's what Sandals do. Okay? And that's how Sandals through Adam Stewart and Butch Stewart, which is the father. That's how they conquer the whole entire Caribbean. And then they just want to take over the beaches. The people who used to go on the beach, they can't go on the beach anymore, you know. Yeah. So that's how they take over. And so when I walk off of there and I tell them I know indentured servant and so on. Okay. And I know slave. That's when I realized that this whole thing about tourism and this whole thing about hospitality industry and this thing about investors and all of that is just a systematic way of running a plantation system in a different way through, first of all, educating you in school to get a job. So if you listen to me and you have children and you send your children to school, look at them closely to know what is their gift. Don't force education, that education bullshit thing. Check them out. Watch them closely and know what is their gift. For example, you can imagine if you was the parent of Usain Bolt, you see this boy winning races. You still want to talk about go to school and get good education and get a good job. Good job. That's why in the school now, you know what they're doing? They use something called correde. Correde is a manipulation of the children's mind. Why the fuck you want to be a pilot when you can own the airline? Tell me. Why would you want to be a pilot when you can own the airline? If you know the story of what is my name? He owned an airline. I don't remember the name. I'll tell you. But he was riding on a plane, and the service was bad. And that is when he got the idea. I could do better than this. I see we live in a society. People say mustn't copy. Yeah, you copy, but you do better when you copy. Okay. And I think it's British. No. Just remember the airline though. Okay, but that's when he decided, you know what, I'm come up and bring up my own airline. It wasn't your education. It wasn't what university you went to. No. You had an idea. He work upon the idea. An idea is first invisible because you are invisible being. But the fool and think you're going to some heaven. You come from the invisible, you go back to the invisible. You come from source, you go back to source. The lie, the church lie. And you've been believing a lie, the preachers lie. You're getting rich off your dumb ass. Okay, telling you about God want money, God want tithes and offering. If God is omnipotent and omniscient, then God knows everything you will do, everything you will say. If that is so, and why would God want money when God could create money? If God create all the trees and the earth, do all of that, why would God want money when God could just create as much as he want? Whoa! Black people, wake up. Stop being dumb. No man coming to save you. So yes, my brother and my sisters, this thing about heaven and hell is fake. Right now you're having sex in heaven, as I said before, and you're facing racism in heaven. Now, if God was white, as they tell you, because they give you Jesus and give you a white boy, blonde hair, blue eye, or some Jewish boy, they give you. And white people have been so unjust to you, which they still do. Slavery never ended, just continue a systematic way. And they believe they more superior than you because they was able to keep a generational curse on you, which many people are failing to break that generational curse because they don't want to listen and they think they know. Okay? If that is so, and you was to go to this heaven, where do you think you end up in this heaven? You want to walk with white people? You want to map the floors? Clean their homes. You realize the first time they started to cast black people on television was walking in white people's homes? Oh my. So they've always had an agenda to keep you dumb, my brother and my sisters. To make you a fool. So right now you be facing racism in heaven. Because this is heaven. It's a state of consciousness. And you will always face racism. Because if you're black and you're driving a very, very luxurious vehicle in America, you could get pulled over just because you look black. These are the same people who born Black Wall Street. They did everything to destroy us, yet we're still here. They create AIDS. They create Ebola. They create everything to destroy the black man, yet we're still here. Staying strong. They give us religion, like Christianity. They give us their idol to worship, which most people still worship the idol, yet we're here. I will always be here. And we are living in real heaven. Not the fake one the white man give you. I tell you there wouldn't be no dying there. When you understand there's a part of you cannot die, then you understand the lie. That's why I would encourage you to get my book called The Secret Vagina Mystery of the Virgin Birth. To understand there's a birth from the skull and not a birth from the crotch of a woman. They fool you. You see, let me explain a little bit for you. Okay? I would encourage you to get the book. You see, the virgin birth, a birth outside of sex. That's what it's telling you. Mary represent the law of gender. Let me explain that for you. Everything is masculine and feminine. One is giving and one is receiving. When it comes to creation and creating or procreating or the bringing forth, is the feminine side. So to show you that there's a secret feminine side of everyone on this planet. They use the name of a female as just a symbol, and they think it's a woman. Woo! That's why if you read it for yourself, Isaiah 7:14, he said, behold, I will show you a sign, a symbol. They say a virgin shall conceive. It ain't mean a woman who ain't have sex gonna conceive. That's not what it means. And I'm gonna show you it in another simple way. And you will understand it. If you understand that the cell phone was first a thought and it was first an idea in someone's mind, and you call that cell phone the brainchild of, whether is it Graham Bell, and you look at a vehicle and you say that's the brainchild of, say, Henry Ford, or whoever, the inventor, it was a spiritual sexual act. Because first of all, the spirit envisioned the idea and they use their mental capacity to channel that energy into reality. That's the creation story right there. You have Virgin Mary, and you think it's a woman open up she leg and gave birth to a man 2,000 years ago. No, the virgin birth and the resurrection is the same one story. Right here. This is it right here. This is the secret right here. The Golgotha right here. The place of the skull. This real skull here. Go better fool you. There's no heaven you're going to, bro. And there's no hell you're going to. Do you know how amount of people in my country who's living in hell? Because they have to go to a job that they don't love every day. Because they have mortgage and loans with the bank. And they go in church every Saturday and Sunday. And they're writing up the scripture and the vehicle. And they owe the bank. And the credit union. But when you know the power that you possess, you don't have to own a bank and a credit union. You start from zero and you multiply that. Because the multiplier is in you. The creator is in you. Heaven is in you. Hell is in you. God is in you. And the devil is in you too. It's all your mind. Oy. So the white man use his mind, create money, and give you money to worship. When money is supposed to be your servant. You see why is there, devil? You see why the white people paint the devil as black and people ain't get it? Because when you become a sensible black man, you're the devil. Because their resorts and hotels can run without workers, you know. You see, check out Kentucky. In any Caribbean country, we think run in Kentucky, black people, but who they on the backs are white man. And who has owned the franchise? If you say black man own the franchise, you're part of secret society, you're part of the cabal. You ask me how I know that? Because they asked me to join more than one time. I refuse. Because they realize, hey, this man is an enlightened man. This man is an awake man. We want him to keep quiet. So we offering him certain wealth. No. You can't make Abraham rich. And people reading that in the Bible and they think they understand it. They think Abraham was a man thousands of years ago. Because they don't understand abracadabra. They don't understand Abraham. The I. Like a H. Spin it around. You get I. The I. And they tell Abraham how to change your name. And you change your nature, you know. Woo! The preachers can't get some man like this, you know. Nah. Them too nice. Let me just wait for the wind to calm down a little bit. Just wait for the wind to calm down a little bit. So my brother and my sisters, I'm saying to you that you have the power to live in heaven right now. You have to create heaven on earth. Because heaven is here. Right here, right now. Not some faraway place. Also, let me say this. Thousands and thousands of people have leave our country and say America is the land of opportunity, Canada is the land of opportunity, England is the land of opportunity. Many young men have left and say, I'm going to join the British Army. But good news to everybody. The land of opportunity is right between your two ears. It's not distance land. The land of opportunity right between your two ears. Ideas is what runs this world. Jeff Bezos had an idea, give you Amazon. Tesla had an idea, give you radio, give you all of these things. McCartney TV idea. They give you Tesla, the vehicle, Elon Musk. All these things are ideas. But these men were taught from very young child how the mind works. While on the other hand, black people, children be taught to go to school and go get education and to believe in Jesus. They teach their children to be dumb from small. Idiot. To be a monkey. Don't get vexed with me. Because when they play soccer in Spain and all of these places and these black men playing soccer and the crowd get angry with them, they normally make the monkey chant and throw banana. And if you ask most black people, why white people call them monkey, they don't know. Monkey just mean an unorganized mind. But if you organize your mind, you'll be able to say, fuck Jesus, fuck church, fuck the preacher, fuck the politician, and realize that you are the master of your life. Take responsibility and accountability for your whole life. Because there's only cause and effect. My thoughts is what created my reality. Let me share this with you. Okay? Before I start, I want to come to a close within an hour. There's a young man from my country, eh? He went to America, New York. After he leave this country, he was a bodybuilder in this country, lifting weights and so on, and he go to America, still being bodybuilding, doing bodybuilding. And he used to come back to the country and want this country to support him with bodybuilding and support his lifestyle. Always coming on wearing a bunch of gold chain and all this kind of bullshit. Okay? And one time, the Federation even bring him here to guest pose. You know what this guy did? He played the American anthem. This man come from this country, you know. Was having the show over Gee Shed. This man, how people were standing there long, played American friggin' anthem. And he had gynecomastia, which is these lumps in his breast, because he was taking steroids. And normally just call them states. He had these two big ass lump. And think people was ignorant. We was ignorant, we didn't know. Okay, these two bitch states. Okay, these two lump. Gynecomastia, I think is the right name. Okay? And when he finished, he take the mic and talk about America, the land of opportunity. And to be honest with you, I always hold that against him. To be honest with you, I always remember it. I remember, consciously, I was thinking on it. And I knew that he was going to come back to this country when he got more old and he didn't succeed. And he was going to start a federation. And I would meet him and everything I would say to him. And I meet him right by Digicel, maybe about a year or two ago. With all the gold and the clothes he used to wear. And they look oversized now because he lose some weight and he still has the same kind of clothes. I remember him going and try to bring conversation to me to say he want to start bodybuilding federation. And everything that I perceived before, I tell that man. So when I tell you about Imagination creates reality and all of these things. I could give you many different examples. I could give you examples on the financial side, every different side. Could give it on the positive side from the negative side. When I finish with him, never show back his face. Because I know exactly that what was going to happen. I remember when I tell him, you say how America is the land of opportunity. He said, yes, but America. I said, no, the land of opportunity between your two ears. And I said, don't, I know he was going to tell the people like to say that he is an IFBB pro. He never turned IFBB pro. And I said to him, I say, you never turned IFBB pro. He said, yes. I said, no, you're a liar. I say, the year you competed in the national, you came third after you won the Beth Francis Classic. Then you went to nationals. You came third. The man who came first was Stan Macri. I said, but to be honest, you should have won the show. I said, Bob Ciccarello was the MC, was the commentator, and he said to Stan Macri, man, you go a long way, but this one was handed to you. I said, bro, as a historian when it comes to bodybuilding, don't try that. I said, the person who came second was Desmond Miller. I said, I think he originally from Grenada, but he lives in America. He came second, and you came third. He couldn't say anything. Then I went on and I say, the next year, Desmond Miller won the nationals, and he became a pro. You never become any pro. And you know he was going to feed the Vincent Jam public with a lie. I catch the bitch. You run back up a freaking America. Can we start federation down here and just milking the guys and them to get money? Because what they just do, they just name weightlifting with bodybuilding to get money from the IOC. Because bodybuilding is not an Olympic sport, but weightlifting is. That's why I never take the initiative to run it like that. Right now, I try to do my own thing with my own money. So when I talk about imagination crazy, I imagine all of that before he ever come. Just like I tell you what was going to happen with sandals before they came, and I put it in a book called Book of Member Result and the Messenger. That's why this book, I would encourage you to get it. Meditate to eradicate poverty. They tell you go to school and educate. Meditate. I'm going to do a book to this and show you why meditation works and how meditation works. Show you the scientific part. I didn't go into the scientific part in that book. I just make it basic to basically challenge you and for you to practice meditation. You know what the church do? You know what the church do? The church tell the people they mustn't practice meditation because they open up themselves for demons. Because when you start to practice meditation, you know, you'll become so calm. Like if you're driving and somebody give you a bad drive, you don't carry on. But you know, sometimes you end up and carry on. Because sometimes I ain't practicing as much as I should. When you practice meditation, a man could come before you angry and you so calm, you know. Because while you're shutting down the monkey mind, the chattering mind. When a man go crazy and he lose his mind, they say a nervous breakdown. You realize you just be chatting. When people see you talking to yourself, they think you're crazy. One time I was laughing to myself, a woman came. She's a teacher by profession. She asked me why I laughing to myself, so and so on, going on. I said I was just laughing about how people religious, how people could be such religious idiots and so on, and how she feeling. She a church woman, a Christian. He said, so you ain't believe in Jesus? I said, no. I'm not that dumb. Oh, you blaspheme me. I said, you think I blaspheme me because you're dumb. She don't, up to this, she don't speak to me. She's dumb. Not knowing about blaspheming is self-doubt. Anytime you doubt yourself, you blaspheme. The spirit that you are, you're blaspheming against the spirit that you are. Okay, everything is spiritual. You know, money is spiritual. Money is just the manifestation of energy, which is spirit. Oh my God. Oh my. So blasphemy is you speaking against yourself, not believing in yourself. So what they do? They have black people going to church and blaspheming every every moment of their life. Self-doubt and self-hate, talking about Jesus love you and I love Jesus and all them foolishness. And it ain't not a foolishness, eh? The preachers just tell you, God is good. And the people that say all the time. And then the preachers say all the time, and the people that say God is good. That is such a dumb thing to say or to believe. That's such a lie. They read in the same Bible, God say kill, destroy, don't even leave no animal alive. He say, Saul, go kill everybody, all the Amalekites, everything. Then he come back to Samuel and say, Saul, did you kill everybody? Did you kill everything? He said, no. No, he said, yeah. He said, so how I hearing the bleat and a sheep? How am I hearing the bleat and a sheep? How you say kill everything? And I hearing the bleat and a sheep? You see how they lie to you? And here's something. Every day of your life, you have good thoughts and bad thoughts. But they're telling you God good every time. But here you. Think about this, eh? I want to think. I just wait for to calm down. Let me see the time. I have 4 more minutes because after hour I'm definitely gonna close. I'm just gonna read these comments and then I'm gonna close. Just imagine, right? If you just live in and you just live in and you just get in day. No night, eh? Just day. That's what they're telling you when you're saying that God good all the time, you know. Day, no night. Boy, our people real dumb. Our people real dumb, you know. Our people real dumb. And you can't tell them the truth. And just imagine if you just get night, which means just darkness, no light. But you have to balance light and darkness. And then the very Bible that we tell you God create the darkness and God create the light. God create good and God create evil. The very Bible that we tell you that, you know. Okay, you want scripture? Let me give a scripture for that. Go read, let me see. Go read Deuteronomy 30-39. Let me quote it for you. Deuteronomy 30-39. He said, I am God and there is no other. He said, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Let me explain it and break it down for you. Before you could kill, before you could steal, before you could do anything, it had to be a thought, it had to be imagined, it had to be in your mind. It had to come from the invisible before it could be visible. God just means your invisible self. Then, let me quote another one again. Isaiah, let me see. I think it's Isaiah 55. No, Isaiah 45. 5-7. Go read Isaiah 45. Verses 5-7. And you see what he says, that I am God and there's no other also. He says, I create the darkness and I create the light. I create good and I create evil. Go read it for yourself. The same mind that you use to create good, the same mind you use to create evil. And let me break it down and show it in another way. And show you that God and the devil is the same person. It's just two sides of the same coin. Don't let them fool you. If a man used to kill, he used to steal, he used to drink, he used to rape, he used to do all of these things, right? That same man walk in a church and walk up to the pulpit and the preacher say, repeat after me. You notice in church, they say, repeat after me in Christianity when you want to join a religion. You know the same thing they just do when they tell you to get married? Sorry, Renee. Go read my book called The Truth About Marriage. Go get a book. The very Bible tell you that marriage is a great mystery. Not just a mystery, you know. A great mystery. And you know what preachers tell you? It's the mystery of Christ and the church. Christ and the church represent a vagina and a dick. Don't know why you know that, you know. That's why they tell you in heaven, you get what? Milk and honey. Wait in the man was discharge the milk. Wait in the woman was give off the honey. Don't let that fool you. They can't fool me. Let me wait until he went calm down. If you know how to use the sexual energy, you'll never be out of money. So with the milk and the honey, as I was telling you about, that's why in Genesis, when he teach you about Jacob getting a blessing, it's a secret. It's a psychological secret and it's a sexual secret too. Now I tell you that when the act of creation is finished, that the soft part between a man tied or shank. Go read it with Jacob. Then he tell you Jacob, tricky brother, and steal the blessing. That's a secret. If you understand the secret of how to smell. Now I tell you, his father was blind and he smelled the soup, the lentil soup, and then he tell you that he smell the skin and he feel the skin. If you understand the senses of smelling and feeling and all of that, and you understand that the father Jacob is speaking about your subconscious mind, and Esau and Jacob, the story of Esau and Jacob is about your anatomy. The entire Bible is about your anatomy, your physiology, your biology, and your psychology. It's all about you. Everything take place inside of you. I can break it down every part of it. Your vagus nerve, all of that. Your nervous system, all of that. The chill life, everything. They don't want you to know the secret from your backbone. Your spine, right up to your skull. How do you think I know them things? Experience. Is that experience I get, you know? Awakening experience. That way they want you to get, you know. When tell you experience the virgin birth, there's no turning back. You're stone crazy. I was 100% certified crazy, man. I lose my mind. I lose the colonial mind. I lose the scarcity mindset. I lose all of that. I lose everything my parents tell me about Jesus and all them bullshit there. I lose all of that. I lose my mind completely. And then I get my own mind. And I think for myself. And I have two middle fingers. One for the preachers and one for the politicians. Go fuck all yourself. I govern my life. Nobody else. I born here alone. I leave here alone. Nobody come here and save me. Jesus don't pay my bills. Can't pay my bills neither. So I say fuck Jesus too. Because that's a lie. They feed you from since you was a little child growing up. That's why you believe it's truth. And you're frightened, you're wrong go church. Think you're going to hell. There's no hell. And there's no heaven, but inside of you. Hell and heaven is inside of you. You think it's easy when a man live in life and he can't live his value? You think it's easy when he don't know how to survive? Why you think prison full of so much of young men? That's living in hell, you know, bro. Because you wasn't taught about your mind and you go to school as a young man and teachers telling you how you ain't going to be successful, how you ain't going to become nothing because you ain't studying book. And the teacher can't see you have talent inside of you. And you realize teachers are not multi-millionaire. Which teacher you know is a multi-millionaire? But yeah, they're preparing you for the world and for the system. They teach you to be an accountant and they never work as an accountant. Read what I tell you. Me not against them thing, you know. Don't get checked. Me just educate you. So you go think. You know the hardest thing on this planet is thinking. People don't think. That's why they think heaven is on the outside and heaven is within. They think there will be no sex in heaven when they're having fucking sex in heaven all the time. They think there's no racism in heaven. Make the white man fool you. But we face racism all the time in heaven. In your consciousness, in your awareness. This is heaven right here, right now. And hell right here, right now. The devil is here right now. And God is here right now. And I'm telling you, Jesus is black people devil. And I overcome him. And educated. I'm not talking about educated. I'm not talking about go to school and university. No. I'm talking about a man who's awakened. An awakened black man is white people devil. So one man God is another man devil. And another man devil is another man God. You have to understand that. Anytime you understand that, you understand what I say. So when you live in a country like my country, you think, and you wake up, you think any prime minister could come and give you false hope? Like in my country, them a jump from one to the next, and all of me same thing. Same agenda. Everybody's showing up there under the crown. And them is not the government. It's England and everything, white people. They make you buy land and make you think you own land. And your title deed, it say use a landholder. Now owner, no. Use a landholder and you have to pay taxes. That doesn't mean I'm saying that you shouldn't get land. You should get land, but you should understand you're just a landholder. You're a holder of it. And you pass it down from generation to generation. They are holders of the land. You're a landholder. That's why the most important thing on this planet is to own your soul. Own your soul. That's the most important thing. Imagine our government, they have to pay this guy, I show you speed for come St. Vincent and come all the Caribbean countries. And this boy he owned by white people. That's why they give him all them views and things on the internet. For 53, 54 million subscribers. Yo, there's a setup thing. Don't let them fool you. Any black man you see on the internet with millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of subscribers, they allow him to do that because he joined the cabal. I have proof of that because they approached me with that. Middle finger for them. I give them that. Me accept it. And you know what they tell me? But one nigga ain't do, another nigga gonna do it. So if I want to once again millions and millions and millions of subscribers and millions of views, I would have take the offer. I ain't take the offer. I could have beat my chest. I ain't take no offer. I don't care about shadow ban. They shadow ban me on YouTube and don't want to put out my videos. I don't care. I didn't take no bribe. I didn't take no money. Because why? I ain't looking for fame and popularity. I stand with black people till the day I die. And I speak the truth because I realize Jesus is the motherfucking devil for black people. That black people devil. Religion is black people cause. Christianity, secular Christianity. Let me make it plain. Secular Christianity, with the fake interpretation of the Bible, that is black people curse. They're under. And I'll do everything in my power for some people to break it off of their life and break it off of their children life. That's why, as long as I live on this planet, I would say, fuck white Jesus a million times. And that is no blasphemy. That is me being set free. Don't make nobody fool you. Okay? Let me read these comments and then I'm going to rest myself. Okay? Someone says, hi to you too. Someone says, what about some of the signs and wonders we saw when we were in religion? What was the source of those miracles, those experiences? Be specific and say what is the sign and the miracles that you see. Because there's no sign, there's no such a thing as miracles. Okay, what you call miracles is just the manifestation of thoughts. Okay, that's all it is. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Many years ago, when I used to go to church, me and another brother named Raja, we told the bishop that we're going to claim a new vehicle, okay, in the name of Jesus. That's what we said to him, okay? And he laughed at us. And he said us, if we don't go and find money, see how we're going to get a new vehicle, okay? But yet, me and this guy named Raja, well, he passed and he died. We continue to believe that we was going to get a new vehicle. And maybe a month or two passed. And one day, we was driving the vehicle in a far area called Sandy Bayside and was coming into town. And while we was in the van, someone said they smelled something, like if something was burning. And we all took it for nothing. And within about 3, 4, 5 minutes, we realized the van was on fire. Okay, and it was in an area where there was no house, nobody, so we couldn't get no help. Cut a long story short, the van burned. The van ended up and burned. At that time, I didn't even know anything such as paying insurance for vehicle, all of these things. I didn't know none of those things, to be honest with you. But to cut a long story short, the church, because the vehicle was in show, they end up and they get money and everything, and they end up with 2 vehicles. They end up and they bought 2 vehicles. And the bishop, the man who's called himself bishop, who was laughing after us, when the lady who was running the church from Bahamas leave, that man took the car and was driving the car. And I never forget the number plate. It was PD6. A white car. They used to call those cars Kettle, because they was very popular. Never forget that. And when I understand the science of mind and how the mind works, I understand how men that brother created that. It wasn't a fucking miracle. It was not Jesus that gave it to us. It was a science. And we use it ignorantly. Now I'm telling you how to use it wisely. You have to understand the science of your mind. So man, this guy created that. But we didn't know. And we thought it was Jesus we prayed to. For example, okay, this book, okay, I encourage you to get it, okay? There's the name right there. Get that book. This book. Go and get it too. And this other one. And you'll find about 10 or more books. Okay, go and get it. All of these books, I wrote them around 3:33 in the morning. 3:33 in the morning. Okay. Around 2015, around there. Okay. I wake up and I start writing. At the time, I didn't know I could have published books. Okay. It took me about a year or 2 later. Someone reached out to me and told me I could publish those books electronically. That time it was only ebooks. And that's when I first published them. They were just electronic ebooks. Okay. And from the time I published them, I started getting sales up to this day. Okay. And later on, the same person was a woman way in Germany, a black woman. Okay. She reached out to me also and tell me, now you could go and you could get them in the hardcover. Okay. And that's how I get them in that farm, And for what? Close to 10 years now. Okay. And all of these books, they were first a thought in my mind. And I began to write in notebooks. And when I start to do videos and I tell people, I would have written a book or such and such, they ask me, where's the book? I say, it's in a notebook. That's when the woman reached out to me and tell me they could be published as electronic, which was ebook at the time. At that time, Amazon wasn't publishing book like in that form now. Okay, and then afterwards, boom. Okay. So I'm saying all this to show you. Everything is created twice, first in your mind. So everything is created in the invisible. So that's where the real thing is. So the way they tell you no heaven, then no heaven you're going to in the sky. Heaven is inside. So heaven is here right now, and hell is here right now. And the devil is here right now. And God is here right now. And you as a black man believing in Christianity, you're worshiping the devil. The white man is your devil. And I am the white man devil. So the black man is the white man devil. And the white man is the black man devil. So if the black man worship the white man, is worshiping his devil. And if the white man worship the black man, he's worshiping his devil. Oh God, get it, no people. But the white man was successful in having black people to worship them. To Jesus, the idol. And you know do? They trick you and to make you believe that the Roman Catholic, when they go and they do all of this, the thing with a man and a cross, that's an idol. No, that's not a real idol. Anything you take and you make with some stick, that's not a real idol. A real idol is planted in your mind, your subconscious mind. That's where they plant the idol, in your fucking mind. That's where they plant the idol, in your mind. So you know you're worshiping an idol. Jesus, the devil, motherfucker, is under my feet. He's under my feet. The white man is under my feet. And I have no hate. Why gonna have hate when I just understand polarity? So those miracles is just you manifesting and unconsciously you don't know. So you think it's a miracle. Someone say you are late. Some people say they have been protected from violence and harm, even death in religion. So now that we are deconstructing these ideas, what is the source of protection? Is it random or was it divine? It's always divine. You are a divine being. You have divine protection. So basically, if a person pray to a stone, if there's a big stone somewhere, and you go and you pray to that stone, and believe that stone will protect you, you will be protected. Let me explain to you why. Now, and I'm going to simplify it. You have a woman have a womb. Now, a woman womb could bring forth a child for a Chinese man, a Japanese man, a short man, a tall man, a fat man, a thin man, any kind of man. Why? Why the woman womb could bring forth any kind of child or any kind of seed? Because the woman womb is impartial. Okay? She doesn't know what kind of seed is being sown. Once a seed is sown. Let me break it down again and make it more simple for you. The same thing with the earth. We call the earth one Mother Earth, like in the earth to a woman. When you sow a seed in the earth don't say, why you planting corn? I want peas. The earth don't say that. If you plant peas, you get back peas. The earth gonna give you back peas. If you plant corn, the earth gonna give you back corn. Why? The earth is impartial too. Now, I'm gonna take all of that now, and I'm gonna put it into the psyche, in the psychological realm and show you. You have your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is dealing with your spiritual self. Your conscious mind is dealing with the physical self. So you have a conscious wall and a subconscious wall. In other words, you have a visible wall and an invisible wall. Okay? Now, whatever you saw in your subconscious mind, the subconscious mind do not define it as a lie or a truth. The subconscious mind is impartial. The subconscious mind work on feeling. Let me give you an example. What I'm talking about. You ever going to a walk and you have a strong feeling that you shouldn't go left, you should go to the right hand side. And then you take the feeling, that strong feeling you have to go to the right hand side. When you go to the right hand side, you meet your good friend. And you say, boy or girl, long time I wanted to see you now. And my mind tell me, just don't go so, come so. And I see you and I be well want to meet you. Okay? Right. Your subconscious mind work with the feeling. So let me break it down a little bit more simple for you and show you something in the Bible. Catch this. If you catch this, it's going to help you. What the Bible say? To prove that the Bible is a book of mind science, okay, I'm going to show you something. The Bible says, let the poor say I am rich. And let the weak say, well, I am strong. The Bible tell you that you must learn to understand how to tell a lie. And believe the lie to turn it into a truth. Transmute it into a truth. So the Bible tell you that a lie is the opposite of the truth and the truth is the opposite of the lie, but it's the same thing. That's why the Bible say, the rich, if you're poor, sorry, you must say you're rich. It's teaching you transmutation. That's what it's teaching you. It's not teaching you miracle. You teach you transmutation. You teach you creation. You teach you how to create with your mind. That's what you teach you. Okay? So, it all have to do with your subconscious mind. So if you impress your subconscious mind with lack and scarcity, that way you go reap. Let me tell you something before I close. Every time I go to the supermarket and I meet somebody complaining about the item on the supermarket shelf, I always turn to them and say, you're a Christian and you know me never been wrong. The only time I turn to a person and I say that was a Rasta woman. And when she reasons, she accepts what I say. Well, I tell you, no, they ever put more value, put money more valuable than your life. Never call anything expensive. Never speak about against the price. Accept it just as it is. You more than that and so on and all of that. But all the people I meet complain about the price in a supermarket, I say, you just go tell your Christian, all of them was yes. Because why? I know their mindset and how they just think. So when the Bible says, let the poor say I'm rich, it's teaching you how to rearrange your mind. Because it's mind science you teach you. That's why I say, be not conform, but be what? Transform. Oh, fuck you go transform your life if you ain't transform your mind. You think go in church and make a fool out yourself and put on nice clothes mean you transform your mind? Why do you think they start so much of comments and gossip? Man, I don't close. I have plenty things for do. I don't close. Let me just read some comment and then I don't close. Okay? So everything is divine. So when these divine things take place, don't think some miracles or something. No. Wake up, black people. Wake up. Don't make white people think they're superior. Yeah, I'll again white people power with that they don't have. White woman don't have a good ass. They wish I ass like a black woman. They wish I have lips like a black woman and black people bleaching. I wake up, the man, please. I'm begging all you, wake up. These people, they literally envious of everything. Someone say, let me move from this sun too much. What is your opinion on pornography, though? You said there is no good and bad. So what do we call such? Yeah, pornography. For example, if you're a man and you're losing in life, you're a low value man. Look, don't make nobody fool you. No woman really want a broke man, you know, unless if she have potential. If a woman see potential, yeah. And nothing wrong with that, she not a gold digger. It's just she nature. She don't want to be secured. She want to be protected. You have to understand these things. Because if you go about that young man, you don't have no father figure. I mean, I had none. You know what I mean? I teach young men. Okay? You don't understand these things. So, for example, right? You're a loser. Okay? For example, you go in church. Yeah, no money, why you're not nothing. You're talking about Jesus and God. You end up and start to masturbate. And then you start to watch pornography. But yet you're going to talk about fornication and adultery. I talk from experience. I mean, a young man. It's a guy in my country. Don't go around and say you preach by Mike. And I'm the only person who love him enough to tell him, stop with the masturbation and so on. And why no man in the church want him. And when it's carnival time, he will come in and go watch all the half-naked women and talk about he can pick up battles. Okay, and I know plenty young men. Just recently, a young man who's go to church come talking to me and telling me he's speaking on behalf of another brother. But I know what himself. Who's suffer masturbation and pornography. But all in all, right? Let me give you the fact about pornography. If you look at pornography out of lust, it's going to damage you. But if you look at pornography and you masturbate and you use the sexual energy to create consciously, yeah. I know a woman who built a bunch of houses. As a matter of fact, maybe 100% truthful with you. Bobby Hemmett spoke about it. Using she sexual energy, the woman is to masturbate intentionally to create what she wants. So, pornography could hurt you badly because of secular Christianity and the teaching. But if you understand sex and the right level and how to use the sexual energy, you won't even watch pornography afterwards because you become more of a high value man. And you start to attract women. Okay? When you change your lifestyle because you're thinking different, you start to attract more in your life. You'll attract women too. Let me tell you something. And I get this from Les Brown. You must check out who's Les Brown, motivational speaker Les Brown. He say, when you start to become successful, a woman will find anything attractive in you. That's why when you see man get popular and all kind of thing, I see some girls telling I show speed, oh, we come here for you, and this and all kind of choppiness. Because why? Popularity. And one say, oh no, I didn't come for I show speed, I come for slim. And then another girl from my country said, I can't handle this thing. The guy asked you, what is it? I can't handle the flame. She just getting flame on her arm, just walking with her, just get her, but she can't handle the flame. Like if anybody talking about fucking she. You understand? So, my brother and my sisters, that's why sometimes men get hooked with pornography and even women, okay? So they use pornography to distract you because you don't have understanding of the sexual energy. So the church, I tell you, the church is a nasty, stinking, dirty place. Because you do not have any right education about sex. So you will watch pornography. Let me tell you how to overcome pornography. Seeing that you ask the question about pornography, I will tell you exactly how to overcome pornography. And this might sound strange to you. This is the strangest thing you'll ever hear. The best way to overcome pornography is to watch pornography with no judgment at all. And you see you never watch pornography again. I challenge you with that. Go watch pornography with no judgment. No judgment on the actors. And when you watch pornography, think about God watching pornography without no judgment, because remember they give a God in the sky. So and they say God can see everything and everything. God watch pornography without no judgment. You watch pornography with no judgment towards yourself, towards the man, towards the human, and just see them as actors and enjoy the game. And you will see you stop watch pornography. No enjoyment. You know why? You're shutting down the dopamine in your mind, in your brain. Let me. Fuck man, I'll never keep me a whole day now. What happened with pornography, right? Excitement and all of these things that produce something in your brain called dopamine. It just give you like a high. That's what them energy, the energy, so-called energy drink, Root Boy and Red Bull, all them things, there's a your adrenaline. That's why they scrap your heartbeat. And they're killing the young men of them because they're not much educated into these things, right? And it is really certain dopamine and thing in your brain, okay? So what pornography does, it releases that dopamine in your brain, because by the time you click on pornography and you hear the songs and so on, you start to get excited. But you can use those songs. As a matter of fact, I have something I'm a secure channel like go. You have to pay to see that, to get sexual songs. I have some sexual songs that I can use to manifest. Just to hear the song and make the songs and I put them there. It's the most creative thing, sexual song. The moaning and song you hear is the song of creation. That's why you know this thing. Church would never tell you this thing. It's the song of creation. How a baby just come. It's the song of creation. Okay? Yeah. So by the time you hear the song, lost in your mind. Lost. The church will teach you about lust. Don't make nobody fool you. But sex is just like you have a desire for a meal. When a tree start to blossom, you could bring forth fruit. Well, I'm going to show it with a woman. When a woman have a daughter, and she start to get your monthly cycle, we should just tell she, be careful. You could be here now. You start to blossom. So just like how a tree does blossom, one does blossom. That is natural. How that can come and sin? Wake up, black people, don't be stupid. So just like how a tree does blossom, then he bring forth fruit, so to a woman does blossom and bring forth. The same thing with a man too. A man does get first wet dream. But they never tell if Jesus had wet dream. Or if Jesus ever had erection. Bro, you have to think. Okay? So my brother and my sister, wake up, okay? And get some common sense. So there's no good and there's no evil, as how the preachers tell you. You just have to balance it. So if you want to watch pornography, watch pornography. But if you could watch pornography without any judgment at all, you wouldn't have no need to watch it again. I'm telling you that. That is what I did. And I know it's going to work for you. Just watch it, they're all actors. They just play the fool. It's boring. Pornography is the most boring thing. You could tell her everything they're going to do from start to finish. The same thing over and over and over and over and over. Once you don't do that, you don't program yourself. Fuck them, just actors. You don't want to watch that again. And most men just only watch that if they don't have no woman. Okay? Someone say, I can't understand the word at all. Not aesthetic. When I used to attend church, many things that you would call miraculous were done through me after having left church. I was told that the devil was giving me mystical powers. I guess by now the person realized it wasn't the devil was giving him mystical powers. We all have mystical powers. You're born with your will, your perception, your reasoning, your memory, your intuition, and your imagination. And they're robbing you from all of those things. And you're born with them as a child. That's why they use memory in school to have you regurgitating things all the time. And they keep you just under one part and block out the rest. You're born with the psychic powers. You're born with the clairvoyant powers. You're born with the telepathic powers. You're born with all of those powers. Okay? And you have to use them. Don't let the church tell you bullshit. Anything the church tell you don't do it. And you prove for yourself what talking. Somebody say, undoubtedly, I know that all energy flows through me. Yeah. All energy flows through you. And in you. And all around you. Okay? As a matter of fact, you're master energy. All of us, master energy. Okay? But energy can be transmuted into many different forms. So the white man uses energy to enslave black people and put them on plantation. And then give them religion. That's how he uses energy. To control and rule. And he can't change, you know. You can't change him. There's no such a thing as uniting. Don't make a fool with church and talk about unite and one heaven. No bullshit. There'll never be unity on this earth. Between black and white. It'll never happen. It's impossible. Goat and sheep can't unite. Someone says, I think Nimrod answering this person, he said, that makes sense, to be honest. Your own power. Yeah, it's your own power. It's your own power. There's no God on the outside giving you no power. It's your own power that you're using. You are probably thinking of, Richard Branson. Yeah. The man who started the airline. Yeah, Richard Branson. Yeah, Virgin Atlantic. Yeah, that was the man I was trying to remember. Yeah, with the airline. Yeah, Richard Branson. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you very much. Somebody say, what about the fact that we can't have sex freely like they can? We have to worry about genotype and sickle cell and all of that. You don't have to worry about anything, you know. It's just that if you allow yourself to be led intuitively, your intuition will lead you to the right partner. You see, a part of growth and expansion in life is finding the right partner. If you find the right man or the right woman, your life just keeps expanding. But unfortunately, do your research for yourself and see, right? Most Christian couples, they always bring forth a homosexual young boy. Some little girly boy. Check it out. There's so much people in my country I could go and show you a Christian couple and the son, one of the son, girly as hell. Really feminine, I could show you. Go do your research, people. If you're in America and Canada anyway. Think about as much Christian couple you know who was always in Christianity, they see that I bring forth some homosexual son. Even if he ain't practicing it, you see, he effeminate. Less of a man. You must check it out. You go see. Someone say, hello, really enjoying this. Thank you. Thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying it, man. Someone say hi. Someone say, I understand. Thank you. You're most welcome. Someone say, but why are we so divided, black and white? Why the chaos? There isn't such chaos in nature. Okay, I'm going to answer that question. Because white people are not natural. They're hybrid. That's why you must never mingle with them. No black man should never get involved with a white woman. And no black woman should ever get involved with a white man. They're not natural. We are 100% natural. That's why we're so close to nature. They are unnatural. That's why in nature you have a whale, but they're going to give you a submarine. In nature you have a butterfly, but they're going to give you some helicopter or something, right? They're not natural. That's why everything is hybrid. That's why they want to hybridize you by mixing with your gene. Let me tell you, any black man believe a white woman love he. No, it's a genotype she after. She just want to preserve she race. I know a black man from my country get involved with a white woman. Went away. You understand? And get to understand the breakup. And he say white people who not, they're not who we think they were. Because he didn't know that white woman was only a black man. For the genotype. To preserve the race. And when you do that, you're bringing a hybrid. It's like you're mating a horse and a donkey. When you mate a horse and a donkey, you bring a forth a mule. You don't bring no children like that. So that's why there will always be this division. Because they have to be a head and they have to be a tail. Okay, you call it division. I ain't say that's division. You have to understand it. Let me come out of the sun here and come more. Yeah. You have to understand it. It's not really so much a division as you think. It's an understanding. You see, most black people do not understand white people. White people laugh and smile with you while they hate you. And I could do the same too with them. Because I'm not their friend. And I will never pretend to be their friend. I'm not going to do that. That's why I can't be with a white woman. Never, ever, ever. And my daughter would never encourage my daughter to ever date no white man. Because they can't have the same conversation. You can't laugh as hard. You can't speak as loud. You can't be yourself. They're controlling. That's just their nature. So you have to understand that. So don't listen to Martin Luther King and them and talk about oneness and all them things. It's not true. You never work. Integration and going to the same school and all them things. Martin Luther King and them was behind. Yeah, Martin Luther King and them was behind. We're glad for the contribution, but they were behind. There could never be no unity. Don't make them fool you. Sheep and goat will never have the same nature. White people and black people can never and will never have the same nature. Don't make them fool you. They use church, they use religion and all things to fool you. So you go intermingle, you go do all of this. Why they play the part of the head and you play the part of the tail? Okay? So it will never happen. Don't look for no peace. I don't want no peace neither because I know there wouldn't be no peace. You want a car without no storm? We'll go on with you. Oh, you buy church really mess up people's mind, you know. People want peace and all. What kind of peace you want? I don't want no peace. I want both war and peace. No peace alone. It don't work like that. We have to have wars. There will always be wars. So when people go to church and talk, oh, there will be rumors of war. Shut up. You're dumb. That's just how life is. It's two sides of the same coin. It have to be balanced. It's called the law of polarity. Go study the law of polarity, the law of opposite. So, I have no hate, I have no envy, I have nothing towards white people. I just understand them. And I want you to understand them. Because when you understand them, you won't go work in a resort. Like Sanders and all of that. No, you ain't going to serve them and no cat. Taking the sun and you are waiter or waitress. Get your ass up and think, man. Use your mind. You could do better than that, black people. Ideas is what create this world. Okay? Ideas is what rule this world. Idea is what run the world. Poverty is just a lack of imagination, a lack of ideas. And it is because of your belief system. Your mother was stupid, your father was stupid, and they bring a stupid child, calling on Jesus. Break the curse. Break the spell. And it's easy. It's easy. Bro, if you could say fuck Jesus a million times, you break the curse. I am telling you, because it's a curse. That's how you break it. And it's no joke. Okay? But you have to understand why you're saying it. Okay? You're cursing the white man because he's been cursing you for ages. You know that? How is he cursing you? Not with his lips. He allows you to curse you through his system. Most black people, you know, they have self-doubt and self-hate. They don't. That's why they don't hate you, you know. If you think I tell lie. Go to an airport. Go to an airport with black people and you being black. You see how they treat you towards a white person, different to a white person. Go and do it. You see any part you go, Caribbean, Africa, anywhere you go. Because they hate themselves. The white man calls them to hate themselves through our religion, church, Jesus. That's how they set it up. Let me read this. Come on. Someone say is white anyone that isn't black, or are we talking about Europeans only? What about Arabs and Latinos? Okay, let me answer a question. Arabs was the first people to enslave black people. And they used to castrate black men. That's why, as a black person, don't become no Muslim, neither no Christian. Okay? So you had the Sahara, the sub-Sahara slave trade before you had the Atlantic slave trade. That way most people don't know, you know. Because in school, they only tell you about the Atlantic slave trade, but they never tell about the sub-Sahara slave trade. So the Arabs forced enslaved black people. So don't make them fool you. Okay, that's why you must never become no Muslim. Fuck Muslim, fuck Christianity. Fuck all of them. Yeah. Fuck Farrakhan, all of them. And be yourself. Be your own master. Master your own life. Be your own thinker. Think for yourself. And never live your life to please people. Never live your life to please people. Be yourself. Because this whole entire world, most people, they are fucked. Society is fucked. Society is cooked. Most people believe a lie. So don't ever live your life to please people. Please yourself. Okay? So it has nothing to do with just Europeans alone. You just have to understand you're hated. And you'll always be hated. But you have to love yourself. Don't look for love from nobody. Don't look for no unity. Don't look for no peace. Balance them. War, peace. Acceptance, rejection. People love you, people hate you. Understand that. Okay? And for all you black Americans, there wouldn't be no peace and no justice for you. Don't fool yourself. It doesn't matter whether you're in Congress or whatever. You still be seen the same way. You could be the richest black man in America. They still see you a certain way. That's just how the people are. That's just how they are. So, for example, Obama was just a tool. And a gay president too. Obama was gay. I'm still gay. As a matter of fact, the first black president of America carries my name, my surname. Go check it out for yourself. John Hanson. First black president of America that most people don't know. Most people think it's Obama. You see, there's the United States of America. And there's the United States. Somebody say, what about Latinos and that have African roots like Colombia and Brazil? Colombia, Brazil, and all of those other Latino countries. All the black people in those places, they put them in a place that can't even find them with bad infrastructure and everything. Yes, you have black people in those places, but they always make things real bad for them. Go and check it out for yourself. Brazil, Colombia. You have to go in some from far distance. With the infrastructure bad. The government don't give them no kind of privilege, nothing. Well, don't talk about Argentina. They get rid of their black population completely. And with the indigenous people of the planet. If as much as they talk about with Venezuela, all the black people in Venezuela, you notice who kind of people running Venezuela government. It's never black people, but black people have been there forever. They fought in the wars. Just like in America, black people fought in the wars. Win the battles for them. And then they put you in the background. They always do the same thing. It ain't going to change. That's why you can't hate them. Understand them. My thing is just about understanding the colonizers. That's all I'm saying, you know. Just understand them. No argument with anything you are saying, brother. But if reality is mean, wait, let me see what you're saying. But if reality is mental, doesn't it affect me negatively to have any enemies in my mind? Nobody encouraged to have enemy. The white man is not my enemy. The Arab man is not my enemy. It's just that I understand their mentality and understand my mentality to balance living among them because of the way how I will be cheated. Doesn't matter which part of the world I go or how much money I have in this life. I'll be cheated and seen a certain way, so I have to have a certain understanding. So I won't play a victim. Get it, people? You see, they jail this thing in your head to make you think once you speak against these things, you have anger and hatred. No, that's why they use Christianity to destroy your thinking capacity. It's just teaching you to understand the different races, how they think about you, and how you have to see them. That's all. So you live in peace. It's empower, trying to empower you people. Okay, let me just read this other one. So finally, do you mean no sex at all when them don't give them our seed? That's what I want to know. I'm not quite sure we're talking about it. If you're talking about when they say them, if you're talking about white people, you're not supposed to give them a seed or exchange your energy with them, sexually speaking. Because it's the most powerful energy. Okay, you know, a sheep don't breed with a goat. It is as simple as that. You don't breed a sheep with a goat. So interracial union is not healthy. Okay? If a black man go to a white woman bring a child, what kind of child is it? It's just a hybrid. They tell you mix. Don't make the fool. It's just a hybrid. It's a hybrid. It's like a mule. Okay? You want to be pure, you have to keep your seed pure. Okay? You have to keep your seed pure. Okay? So understand what I'm saying. Keep your seed pure. This is not me. I'm not trying to be like Omar Johnson, just talking but not really explaining things properly. Okay? Not just talking about snow bunny, never, and black woman never, and all of that. No. You have to give reason. Okay? We all carry certain DNA and so on. We carry certain bloodline and so on. Certain genes. Okay? That have been passed down. You have to know that. Okay? Somebody says, so what if there is no child, just sex with protection? No. Even if you go and cross the energy with a different person of a different race, it's the same thing. Even if you use protection, even if you have no children, you don't want to have no union because there's no union there. Don't matter what you do, there's no union. Don't let them fool you. When it comes to existing on this planet, there is such a thing as separation. Don't let them fool you. A pumpkin is separated from a watermelon. Watch. A pumpkin could never bring watermelon. If you sow pumpkin seed, you will never get watermelon. Don't let them fool you. So there is a form of separation. On the physical level, there must be separation. On the non-physical level, there is no separation. That is on the mental and spiritual level, there's no separation. That's why you have to protect your mental and your spiritual. That's why you can't believe in Jesus and go in church and make an ass out yourself. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you have to do, there's nothing to do with protection or whatever. Protect your sexual energy. That's your most creative and powerful energy. That's why they attack it through Christianity. Tell you about fornication and adultery. They fool you. Okay? I'm going to close just now. I'm just going to walk on my way. Okay? So don't make them fool you. Don't mix your seed. Okay? Don't ever mix your seed. What conversation could you have with a white woman as a black man? What kind of conversation could you really have? What kind of union could you really have? That's why right now they're using the internet to promote interracial union by giving people views and subscribers. That's what they're doing. That's why even in the pornography industry, they pay more money for interracial union there in pornography. It's all a trap. And then when they use Christianity to soften the men, just like the other day, I was walking through the same area here, and a black man from my country was marrying to a freaking white woman right here. So I say he don't even know what kind of chop he getting himself mixed up into. They just want his genotype. That's all they want. This is not new, man. There's not new under the sun. The more you live, the more you learn. Okay? The more you live is the more you learn. There's nothing new under the sun. The sun has always been here. What they do, they switch the sun, the S-U-N, and give you a S-O-N. And if you don't think, you wouldn't realize that a S-O-N could never exist unless there was be the S-U-N. So they give you Jesus, a sun, S-O-N. It's a trick. It's the sun. The sun is the light of the world, right above you. That's the light of the world. And your mind, okay, it parallel the sun. You want to create anything in this world, it starts in your mind. And you have a solar plexus. That is the seat of your soul. That's why soul and sun is the same thing. Soul is speaking about solar light. Someone says, so it's confusing, but I understand what you mean. There's nothing really confusing if you really sit down and think. Okay, there's nothing confusing. Someone said, my brother, some still believe that it's an honor to marry a Caucasian. No, there's no honor in that. That also come from Christianity and the white Jesus. Yeah, that come from the Christianity and white Jesus. There's no honor in marrying outside of your race. You have to preserve your race. Never marry outside your race. Okay, always stick with your race. And never go against your race. Always stick with your race. Doesn't matter what. Always stick with your race. And try to preserve your race. Okay? Always do that. There's no honor in marrying outside of your race. Don't make nobody fool you. I'm totally against it. Since my awakening. I never could have seen it before. I never had any concept of it before. I think it's basically what happened is the way how we were raised and television and so on. It makes you have a false belief about yourself. It gives you a false belief about white women. You see them in movies and so on and all of that, and your imagination will linger. What is like? You're gonna think like, as I'm okay from a standpoint, a man's standpoint, you'll be thinking what is like to fuck a white woman. Okay, that's what you're gonna think, and you're gonna fantasize and all them things, and then it could become a reality. Okay, because I could have been a victim because I used to have those kind of thinking before my awakening. Okay, someone say, okay, because you made it sound like a sin. Sin is basically ignorance, okay? So you can't go around thinking in terms of such a thing as sin and sin and sin. No, sin just means ignorant, okay? If you're living in ignorance, that you're living in what they call sin, okay? But then you also say there is no sin. Yeah, ignorance. Sin is just ignorance, okay? Living in ignorance of self. Someone say, I'm not talking about marrying, but I mean energy exchange. Nah, no energy exchange, bro. Then you just living for sex for no reason at all. That means you just want to have sex for no reason at all. You just want to have sex for pleasure. You shouldn't have sex for pleasure, just for pleasure alone. You're supposed to use it to create. And if you're going to use it to create, you want someone who's on the same level of vibration and frequency with you. Someone who understands your struggles, everything. Someone who's been through the same sort of thing like you. You understand? It's just as simple as that. Someone says here, when you work in the hotel industry, you can get trapped. Yes, I've been there. So I know. Yeah, you can definitely get trapped. You know, most of our people in the Caribbean need to get out of this hotel industry thing. Believe you me. Make you a servant. You see, the paycheck does really make you a servant. And easy for control. Okay? I think I'm gonna reach over here. I'm gonna definitely end this live, okay? You know, to be honest with you, when I decided was to do this live and the other live, you know, I decided I was just gonna spend 1 hour. But whole life is like I spend 2 hours, but no problem. Okay. It's always good to serve my people. Okay, and to be honest with you, before I end this live, I mean to say anybody who think that I have anything against any person because of the race, you have to be somebody that's sick in your mind. I have no hatred, no envy, nothing towards anyone based on the race. It's just that I have an understanding of the polarity in such a way that I realize that we are just different. And we have to accept the fact that we're just different. You see, Martin Luther King and they wasn't teaching that we just fucking different. They wasn't doing that. So somebody have to come and do it. You understand? Somebody have to do it. And go back to any speech of Martin Luther King. Because I remember when I challenged some white people, Mormons to be specific, okay, and telling them why they're coming on here to try to brainwash our people and so on and all of that. Knowing that they don't really want them to join Mormon, they just want to make sure to know that they're in Christianity, okay? They asked me about Martin Luther King, why I think, and just to show them out, he said, we was a sellout. Okay, and they was like shock and all of that, you understand what I'm saying? When they're ready, they was telling me, I must leave the land. I said, this is not your land. Okay, leave the property. And a bunch of policemen from the island was there. I recognized one and I even point him and tell him he knew me. He know I'm not a violent person, anything like that. Okay, and he met me later on. And he told me, you know, we challenge those people when they call you nigger. I told them that they will get those other people there, like the other policemen and so on, they will get offended with the nigger talk, but I won't get offended because I understand them. You see, that's what I'm telling you. But the one who was doing it was a Filipino, because I say, you look mixed. Look like you're a Filipino. And I say, your government right now is killing out your people like flies, and the rest white men, they were laughing. And then they tell the policemen that this guy, this Filipino guy, like to say he crazy, he not right in his mind. But yet he could come down in the country to tell the people about the last testament of Jesus and Joseph Smith. You understand? So, yeah. Someone say, my brother, when will you deal with the matrix and its similarities to that which you are teaching? I don't understand. When will you deal with the matrix and its similarities? Oh, to that which you are teaching. Oh, I get it now. Oh, okay. The thing is with the matrix and with what I'm teaching and the similarities is that basically what they want to do is keep you on an intellectual basis of knowing. So if you just get information, and as long as they could keep you on information, that's why they create AI and all that, they give you as much information as is a flood. They flood you with information. But let you make this thing practical and practice it in your life, it doesn't make any sense at all. Okay? Someone say, let's go. Someone say, most people are walking around dead. Yeah, most people definitely are walking around dead. Okay, but this knowledge wouldn't make any sense unless you apply it. You have to keep applying it. And you would realize that imagination creates reality. That's why the thing that I'm saying is not to bring no hatred, nothing at all. It's just for you to have an understanding that we're different people all together. Don't look for no union, no peace, nothing. Don't think. Look, my brother, my sister, if you live in America, don't think the white policemen gonna change. They can't change. It's not gonna happen. Don't think no black president could bring any change. It's not gonna happen. You just have to accept the polarity. We're just different. Okay, so don't try to be like them. Don't base your life off of them. Okay, that's why I don't ever try to sell a lifestyle to people. Okay, someone say keep teaching my brother. Someone say looking forward to your tour. Then someone say peace, love, and light, brother. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely. I would definitely like to do a tour. Okay, I like to tour the entire Caribbean. I like to tour the entire world. I speak just like how I'm speaking here. It doesn't matter. I would teach the law of difference. Okay, so say black people and white people are different. And Chinese people and the other people, we are different. And we have to accept the difference. And somebody has to speak about the difference. Okay, nobody gonna tell me otherwise. Martin Luther King was preaching what he was preaching. Now this is my time to preach what I'm teaching. We are fucking different. And we should stay different and accept that we are different and live differently. Don't try to be them. Don't bleach your skin. Okay, don't do it. Don't intermingle. Look, they used to have sundown tongue in America, which I think they still have. They used to have dream color and all of these kind of things. Come on. It ain't stop. It's just different thing, and you think, oh, them, no, with peace, unity. No, those they used to be, they still is. South Africa is the same. Let us not try to look for no peace with these people. Just try to be ourselves and try to widen our scope and rise up and build. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And in order for us to do that, we have to understand that we have a bunch of puppet government. We have to understand these things. And we have to understand that taking over by military, like in Africa and so on, that still is not the solution. The solution starts with you. And we could do it one by one by one by one by one by one. That's all. If I could do it, you could do it. Somebody say, were you to change? We will be disappointed. Cannot wait to see you, school preachers. No, I can't change because it's a be myself. I just have to be myself. If I want to change, I would take the offer from Illuminati long time. Man, I would be killing money in my motherfucking country. I would be killing money. Yeah, I would be killing money. I tell a young man in my country running from the country like crazy to go join British Army. And it's about 1,300 pounds. They're starting them with me. I don't know how much they get afterwards. But they're with the starting. Because one time I used to challenge them. Okay, I used to be in the park when they practice them for go army. And I used to curse them. And say the ancestors can bless you all again. A country that enslave our fucking people, sugar cane and all of these things. And now you got to hold gun for them and so on. And then I asked the guy who was training them. I said, look at you. What you doing to your own people and training them for? And I call a figure. And he corrected me. And he said, no, it's 1,300 US. That's how I knew. And then I turned around to him and I said, and how much you getting? And I think he wasn't getting 13, he was getting way more than them. He was being paid more, and I laugh. I laugh at it. Okay, yeah, because it's like he was proud to tell me how much he was getting paid. Okay, he was getting more paid than them. Okay, and he went and served in the British Army to for like a while, and he come back because he had diabetes. He was sick. Most people don't know that. He was sick with diabetes, and he come back here and they was training some young fellas to go. And when I said they was going for a certain amount, he said no, and he tell me the figure. And then I turned around and I said, so and how much you getting? And he called this figure. He was getting a bigger figure than them. Okay, so nah, I have no sell out to do, man. This is just my life. I find my purpose and I live in my purpose. Doesn't matter where it calls me. If it call, well, look, you see me, I stick in with what set me free and what I find out for myself and my experience. And many times people just say, oh, protect that man and all, cause I will always say this. You see that? I come to a realization, yo, you gotta die. Whether now or tomorrow, you die. Whether you die, but doesn't matter how you die. Death is death, you're gonna die. All of us. Okay? Someone say, I love my black heart self. Yeah, you gotta love your black self, man. I love black people, man. I really love myself and I really want to see black people wake up, man. It's the Christianity, man. I want black people wake up out of Christianity. The way how we've been taught to them. Okay, I ain't saying all together burn your Bible and thing. I understand it a certain way, man. I go free you. And done with church and all of that and call it consciousness. Somebody say, may the ancestors continue to guide your path and those in your bloodline. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate all of you guys. And I definitely continue to do what I was sent to do. I definitely continue to encourage you all to support my work, buy my books, and so on, because it's the most you can do. Okay, I cannot depend on YouTube. okay, to to be paid or anything, okay? And I make sure put merchandise out there, and I'm asking for your support, and I will continue to put more and more. I can't run out of ideas. I'm like a river. Ideas. There's too much, so much ideas, too much. I can't be stopped with ideas. Too much. That's why I have to prosper. Doesn't matter what. I don't have to look to YouTube. I don't have to look to AdSense. I don't have to do none of that. I prosper. I have to. Too much ideas, man. Okay? Real ideas, man. Plenty ideas. After a while, I start to share some with you and show you certain things. After a while. Okay, so my brother, my sister, I really want to thank you all very much. Okay. Someone says here, what about Indians and Haitians? I will always stand with the Haitian people. I really have a heart for the Haitian people. They hate the Haitian people. They hate the Haitian people, and they always hate the Haitian people. America always remember what we do to France. The French always remember. They make they pay debts. They make they do that. But Haiti will be free. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Haiti must and will be free. The Indians hate black people. Plain and straight. They believe they're better than black people. And white people are trying to put Indians on a pedestal and talk about their gurus and try to focus on India. Nah, Africa was before India. Okay? I say I'm gonna go, but let me just read the last comment. Say, the us are not, because there are so many shades of dark. Yeah, there's so many different shades of black people. But black people will recognize and love black people. Don't make nobody fool you. Okay? Those who is of the same kind of bloodline and carry this DNA would have this feeling, and you would know. Okay? So even among the Indians, the more darker skinned Indians, they've been prejudiced against with the more lighter skinned Indians and so on too. So I believe there's a time when people from all races would embrace the blackness and realize what is going on. Okay? There are also black Indians. Well, I know I mentioned it there too, right? And those black Indians, they have prejudice against them. You know, everywhere you go, the darker skinned people have prejudice against them. Colorism is everywhere you go. Okay? But there's a certain DNA that we carry. And those who have that DNA will resonate with each other. It doesn't matter where. We communicate with each other. Any part of the world we are. Okay? Let me read this. You should have take the white man for then turn your back on the system and speak the truth. No, I prefer not to take the offer. I prefer not to do that. Okay? You see some of them, you see people, they go up and then they come down. Okay, I remember a guy from Africa, he don't reach 100,000. They bring him down to nothing. Couldn't come back. I see young Pharaoh go up there again too. Come down. Can I come back? Okay. I think it's my girl was telling me about Kai Sinat. I don't know if he is still too, because he say he refused some half and all of that. No. I don't want to be up there and then fall back down there. No. I don't want that. And it's not in my nature too. This is how I've been from ever since. It's not in my nature. Okay? Mm-mm. When I become awakened and enlightened and I make up my mind, I realize, I say to myself, you know, I say, I glad I had the experience when I turned 4 and 45. I said to myself, maybe if I was a younger boy, they might have penetrated me. Might. I said, might have. Okay? Because, you know, if I should be 100% truthful to you, when these alpha come, they had you thinking, I'll be thinking. You know what I mean? At one time, you're battling in your mind. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wonder if I should really do this, because these people that do good, they just do this, they just do that to people, to the world, it is, you know, and nah, it's going against my nature. Once it's against my nature, everybody have a makeup, or the way how they make up, it's just against my nature. I say, nah, at this age and stage, that's why people say they want to become enlightened and all of that, bro, believe you me, seek to become more enlightened at an older age, believe you me, it's better. Okay, so that's why they say life begins at 40. I could definitely agree with that. Okay, it's better when they become more enlightened and awakened, and they become more responsible at an older age, and they become more enlightened at an older age. Believe you me. Okay, because at an older age you might be more able, understand, to refuse any kind of offer that might come to you to control you. You know what I mean? To bribe you. Okay. So yeah, as what this was saying, my awakening came at the right time. I was at the ripe age for it. Okay, and sometimes I say I'm too old. See, I want fame and popularity and all that. I'm glad to become awake at that age. Okay, so I give thanks. There's some young men who go and join gangs and so on, they never even live to see age of 21, much as to reach the half century. I'm glad. I'm really, really glad. That's why I even have to put my life on the line. For this, I'll do it. I ain't afraid no. I ain't afraid nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Somebody say, and why does it? Why doesn't it work on other people? Some people not ready to be awake, and some people can't manifest certain things because they still carry around certain doubts and certain fears and certain things from the parents and things. They have to reject all of those things. As I say, people are say, like for example, say if if a person can't really curse Jesus when there's an idol given to them and stuff, you ain't ready yet. To be honest with you, someone say, where do occultists get their power from for witchcraft and evil? Witchcraft is not evil, and occult knowledge is not anything that people wasn't practicing before religion. The occult knowledge has always been around. There has always been the wise and the foolish, and there will always be the wise and the foolish. Okay, the people who they call Wiccans and they call all these kind of things, it's just basically those of us who born into this knowledge. Since we was a child, we had this awareness that there was something about us, and we're going to discover it. That is just a part of society, and our society is structured just like how we would accept a queen and a king and a president and a prime minister, but they hid these things from us. Just like how they hid what is behind the ice at Antarctica from you. Just the same thing, basically. So that which people do not understand, they call evil. Okay. So occult just mean that which is hidden from you, but it might not be hidden from me. If you read the Bible, I think in Matthew 13, and you read it, say Jesus say, it is not for them to know the mystery of the kingdom, it is for you. Read between the lines. That man 1,000 years ago. Okay, so people all them try to associate witchcraft with something evil. No, it's that people just use it for evil. And they could use for evil, could use for good. And they could use for good, they could use for evil. Somebody say, and why does it? Oh, okay, somebody say some people call that power the devil. Yes, it could be the devil because you make some other people uncomfortable. Yeah, man, that's not this devil thing, yeah. That's what I tell you, I the white man devil. Jesus is the devil. Okay, there's levels to this thing. Okay, it make you it gonna make them uncomfortable. If you use a very intelligent black man, a solid black man, you make white people uncomfortable. But if you're not a wise black man, you make them comfortable. They call it nice. They love you, man. They treat you when you would think nice, but just because you play your part and they play their part, and your part is the tail and the part is the head. Look, if I was white, I'd do the same thing. So why could I hate white people? Why I hate white people for? It's just that I need to understand them. What do you think of witchcraft? I think I explained what I think about witchcraft. Witchcraft is not nothing evil. It's just that people who don't understand witchcraft use it for evil. A witch is a wise person and they understand a craft and they use the craft. They use the craft for better yourself. What do you think prime ministers and presidents using? The same thing. Could you imagine Trump home in air condition and thing and all of that, and your son the outside they fighting one? Come on. There must be a craft you're using. And evil magic. There's no such a thing as evil magic. If there's such a thing as evil magic, everything what Jesus do and you read in the Bible and you believe it is evil magic then. Magic and when you call miracles, the same thing. Manifestation is the same thing. Magic. Your water, a wand. That's why I say power, I tongue in life and death. There's no such thing as causes except when a man go on a pulpit and tell you you're no good. And you need a savior outside of yourself. That's cause. Presidents and prime ministers and preachers and so use cause all the time to cause you. And let me explain it to that I will understand it, okay? They're getting you to cause yourself. Let me put it that way. Okay, because they're smarter than you. Okay, there are levels to this existence here. Okay, someone say thank you for your time. Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate that because definitely I need to go, but the love in my heart is like I just don't want to go and answer everybody. Thank you for your energy. You appreciate it. Someone said I appreciate. Thank you very much. So how do you protect yourself from occult power? I don't try to protect myself from occult powers because anything a person send to me, once you send something and I recognize it and you return back, you're gonna return back more dangerous to you. So yeah, if I hear about something called boomerang, don't fucking play with evil. If you want to put it that way, they will try to use this thing to hurt nobody. Because when you boomerang and you trust me, boy, trouble for you in a serious way. One love, my brother. Have you noticed that they call African spirituality evil? Yeah, to turn us to their concept of God. Yeah, that's what they do. Okay, but we know better. So, my brother, my sister, I really, really want to thank you all very much. Okay, for tuning in. I'll definitely see you on another live. Peace. Love you all. Out.